6 months from now, you'll face a major setback. Your response to that moment will determine if you join the 1% or stay with the 99%. One path leads to the life you actually want. The other keeps you exactly where you are. Edison faced 10,000 of these moments and used each one to get stronger. Most people's brains shut down when pressure hits. Edison's brain had the opposite programming entirely. This same program is what separates top 1% from everyone else. The difference isn't talent or luck. And in the next few minutes, you'll discover the exact protocol they use. When failure strikes, your brain makes a split-second decision. That decision either opens up new pathways or shuts them down completely. Most people think everyone processes failure the same way. They're wrong. As Thomas Edison once said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." But Edison wasn't just being positive. He was demonstrating a different cognitive process. While most people's brains interpret failure as a threat to their identity, Edison's brain was treating each setback as data for the next iteration. Here's what happens in your brain when failure hits. The average person's brain floods with stress hormones that impair thinking. They go into protection mode, avoiding risk, playing it safe, staying small. But the 1% bypass this emotional spiral. Instead of threat detection, they activate strategic thinking. They're not feeling less pain, they're processing it differently. But knowing this split exists is only the beginning. The real power comes from understanding the exact protocol they use to flip that switch. While your brain is still processing the sting, 1% are already running a different program. This isn't about positive self-talk. This is about rewiring your immediate response to setbacks. Most people get stuck because they ask the wrong questions. They ask, "Why did this happen to me?" Or "What's wrong with me?" These questions send your brain down a spiral of self-blame and helplessness. The 1% ask 3 different questions immediately. What data does this give me? What assumption did I just test? What can I adjust for the next iteration? These questions shift your brain from victim mode to scientist mode. Instead of feeling attacked by failure, you start seeing it as feedback from reality. But here's where it gets interesting. This protocol doesn't just help you recover from failure. It actually makes you seek out certain types of failure. The 1% don't just handle failure better, they actively create situations where they might fail, and that's their secret weapon. This seems counterintuitive, even wrong. Why would successful people court failure when they could play it safe? Because they understand something most people miss. Failure is the only way to discover the edge of your capabilities. Each time you process a setback using the reframe protocol, you're not just solving one problem. You're building a more sophisticated problem-solving brain. You're expanding your tolerance for uncertainty. You're developing what I call cognitive anti-fragility, the ability to get stronger from stress instead of weaker. Each processed failure builds cognitive muscle that compounds over time, and this is where the real competitive advantage emerges. Most people spend their entire lives trying to avoid the one thing that could accelerate their growth. But now you understand the secret behind elite 1%. Failure isn't your enemy, it's your cognitive gymnasium. Every setback is either building your mental muscle or keeping you weak. The choice is yours. Now you have the protocol to make failure work for you instead of against you. But wait, there's something even more powerful. I've spent years studying the world's most successful people across every field. From business leaders to scientific innovators, from creative geniuses to strategic masterminds, all top 1% shared identical mindset frameworks. Not strategies, not habits, but fundamental ways their brains are wired differently. While most people's minds work like calculators, the top 1% think like supercomputers. Once you see how the top 1% actually process information, you can never go back to thinking like everyone else. Watch this next video to discover the mental code of true genius.